What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And I'm well rested today. So we're bringing you guys another episode of the Film Bros podcast. All right, y'all. So, Josh, we've been having, actually, real quick, I feel well rested now.
Mm-hmm.
Had my morning coffee.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better than yesterday's episode, so that's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the mood to do a little defending today.
That's against what?
What do you mean against what? Evil, dude.
No.
Let's put our masks on and let's go.
We start fighting crap. It's no longer the Film Bros podcast. You're actively gonna hear us beat up people.
You just hear some guy, my leg.
Is he jaywalking?
So what I wanted to defend today, and I kind of wanted to bring it up as kind of our first topic, is Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend coming out exposing him for being emotionally abusive. I'm not sure where she got this idea, but we'll break down the story for you guys, and you guys let us know how you guys feel about it. Apparently it's like a 50-50 split. Her name is Sarah Brady. Now, they were dating between 2020, like the end of 2020, and I believe they broke up sometime in 2021, ending 2021, somewhere around there, because
he's even recent.
No, well, the text messages are recent, but Jonah Hill's basically with a different girl right now. He already had a kid like about a month ago. Yeah, I think about a month and a half ago. And so it's so weird that Sarah Brady, an ex-girlfriend of 2020 and 2021, coming out of the blue to be like, he is a misogynist. He does, and a misogynist is a big word to be thrown around, but she threw it around and, basically says that he's emotionally abusive. I don't know. Have you heard about this at all?
I think I might have seen something, but like you breaking it down, it doesn't it doesn't sound like, what is it, like this like mystery thing, Yeah. If it was around 2020, I'm not trying to say he's a scumbag or whatever, but I would imagine around that time was when he was going through his like cleanse and spirituality shit.
Yeah, so, and of course that's why going to therapy, dealing with his problems with weight and like being more awakened
or whatever else.
So she wound up putting him on blast on Instagram, saying a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna read a few of them, and then I'll read you what people are basically saying in the comments. Yeah. Like I said, it's a 50-50 split, it looks like. Women are coming out saying this is empowerment. Some men are coming out saying this is women empowerment as well. And some people are saying, well, this is just Jonah Hill placing some boundaries down. I'll read them out for you so you can hear what is basically being said. So it says right here, I gotta get a little closer to the computer. Sorry, guys. So it says right here, this is a warning to all the girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Love y'all. Call me if you need an ear. And he basically puts in the text messages. He put some photos that I guess she put out in her swimwear that she put out on Instagram. And he put, good start. You don't seem to get it, but it's not my place to tell you. I've made my boundaries clear. You refuse to let go of some of them. And you've made that clear, and I hope this makes you happy. He puts in a different post saying that plain and simple, or in a different message, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in bathing suits, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are unstable, who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership, my boundaries with you, based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. She goes on to put another picture saying number one boyfriend, saying literally just say hello and leave the combo. I love how your therapist, love how Your therapist thinks I suck. I literally am the best boyfriend on earth. She says, I don't care for your misogyny on this one, and puts down, you're right. We can't do social things or develop trust. This is Jonah Hill texting her. Until you consider me and make decisions that give regard to our relationship, I've been vulnerable as possible, and I am telling you, I am needing you to step up to the plate, which you can. I am sure of it, but these losers don't get your time. If you want me straight up, it's consideration. I respect your love for surfing, but I respect myself as well, and your love for surfing and being in those situations and lack of awareness are not mutually exclusive. This isn't me. I have my own issues that I own. So, plain and simple, they both were going through issues. Like you said, he was going through his awakening time.
Yeah.
They were going to couples therapy at the time because, they wanted to work things out. He literally, on the red carpet, and this was around Don't Look Up came out, on the red carpet, he brought her to the premiere, literally said that she saved his life, that she's been with him through thick and thin, that they've been together for a while.
Yeah.
And, reading these messages and hearing what he had to say to her, at least for me on my part, listening to it, it just sounds like he was just trying to tell her, like, the men that you surround yourself with, your friends, they're sloppy. The men that you surround yourself with, why are you around them? Obviously they're just there to try to, do something, that could be looked at it as insecure. But if you're a man, you kind of know what men's intentions are, especially when women are in bikinis and stuff like that. He supports her surfing, but doesn't like the provocative photos that I guess are being displayed on the internet, which, like I said, she doesn't have to stay with him. She doesn't have to be with him. If these were his boundaries and she didn't agree with his boundaries, why put him on blast like this?
Yeah.
Why not just be like, okay, but this is my life. I enjoy surfing. You think these photos are provocative or whatever, but this is just me surfing and I have to wear bathing suits to surf. And then you have the other side of the argument where it's like, okay, well, why aren't you wearing a full bathing suit? You know what I mean? The ones where it has the zipper and it's the wet, the
actual wetsuit,
the actual wetsuit to go surfing and whatever. Like I said, to me, it sounds like boundaries. I don't know. You've heard the messages that he sent to her. She calls them misogynistic. She calls them red flags. What do you think of them?
I always thought, from what you said, it sounded like boundaries. Just establishing where he stands and like where his line in the sand is. A lot of it is just her not coming to those terms and seeing it as like misogynistic and whatever else. And I'm like, well, how is that? It doesn't sound misogynistic in the context because he's talking about the dudes that she's surrounding herself with.
Yeah.
It's not about, I know he brought up women, but that was like the footnote. He was mainly talking about the dudes. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think it just sounds a lot more like boundaries, and she's trying to blow it up to get attention or whatever the fuck. I don't know what she does.
Get support.
I don't know if she's an actress or not. I have no idea who she is.
I have no idea either. The only thing that I know about her is that she dated him at one point, and she was on the red carpet with him and all that. So we have some people that agree, like this Twitter user who says there was nothing emotionally abusive about Jonah Hill's messages. His now ex-girlfriend expecting basic respect for oneself and one's partner is not an unreasonable request. And she basically proposes the question, why do women hate it so much when men set boundaries?
Yeah.
Moving on to a different tweet where this girl seems to say that this is red flags. People defending Jonah Hill's messages is wild to me. He's imposing a value system on her. There's a negative value attached to his girlfriend's clothes, job, relationships with men and women, and her media presence. She's framed as bad. He's, however, the best boyfriend. So I can address both of those comments. Obviously, one's defending Jonah Hill, one's taking a stab at him.
Yeah.
You could look at it either which way, right? You could look at it as him trying to put her down, trying to keep her out of her surfing career and stuff like that. Or you could see it as him setting these boundaries and letting her make the decision. He never said at one point in these messages that I've seen, at least, and maybe there's more that she put out that I haven't read yet, but at least from these messages, he did not say you have to put your friends down. He did not say you have to put clothes on. He did not say you need to quit your job and stop surfing. You need to stop being around these men. He did say, though, that these are the red flags that, to him, his boundary setting, these are his red flags, and is saying that you still doing these while we're in the middle of couples therapy, in the middle of, trying to repair ourselves, that it's hurting their trust because he's asking for something and she's not giving it. Who knows if she's asked for things that he's given to her, but she's not putting those on blast at all. Yeah. She's just putting on blast whatever she felt was misogynistic, which in a way, like I said, 50-50 split, it seems like is backfiring on her as well. Not a lot of people are agreeing with her on that position that he's misogynistic and all else that she wants to put out there. Like I said, to me, seems like boundary setting. Doesn't seem like he's pushing the envelope too much. Sounds like he's giving her that option, and if she so chooses, as a woman who has a brain, a mind, and choices like everybody else, if she so chooses, she can walk away. And she didn't need to put him on blast. Why put him on blast when he just had a baby, is in the middle of another with
he's
another
basically
girlfriend?
Doing good, and she's like upset.
To me, that seems heinous to me, because it's kind of like he's moving on with his life. He has a baby. He has a girlfriend. He's awakened, and now you're trying to bring him back to this point where he was not only struggling with his own mental health, but at the same time struggling with relationship issues. Why would you want to regress him that way? And why would you bring this up 2 years after the fact? Why not just bring it up during the relationship if you honestly felt he was being misogynistic? And it sounds like in one of these messages he even addresses about like the therapist, saying that the therapist literally agrees with him, saying that this is just boundary setting. And she seems like she's just like, oh no, I'm still mad. I don't care what this therapist says. Like you're being a dickhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. This doesn't look like how she thought it would. There's not much. Again, whatever side of the fence you're on, it doesn't sound like it's going the way she wants. Not everyone's gonna back her up, because Jonah Hill, around that time, he was just going through his shit. He was trying to fix himself, and if his therapist says, "Hey, your relationship is kind of putting a strain on you mentally," and whatever you're saying is just boundaries, and she's just like, "Well, fuck that," then. Whose fault is it at that point?
Yeah. And I just wanted to read a few more comments because it's fucking crazy. So even Mia Khalifa went under this post. And if anybody knows who Mia Khalifa is, she's a retired porn star, or corn star, whatever you want to call her.
Corn star.
She's retired, but for some reason still has an OnlyFans and still posts nude photos after.
She can get paid. She can get paid the right way, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly. Supposedly. So she puts in this comment saying, as she should. Underneath is a Twitter user called Joe's Nuts, and it says, respectfully disagree. Somebody else above them said, I don't understand. He was quite respectful about it, and whether or not people agree with how he feels, this is his personal boundaries. I'm not understanding how others are telling this man how to feel. Find someone who agrees with your values and move on. Anessa underneath that post said, while he can have personal preferences, trying to control what your partner can or can't do isn't setting a boundary, especially if you enter the relationship knowing what your partner does for a living.
No one said that she couldn't do that. He never said, you can't surf. He's suggesting that, hey, you surfing and taking these provocative pics and hanging with these bad dudes is kind of fucking me up mentally. But there was no point where he was like, I'm gonna force you to stop.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. She can take what he said and be like, okay, it's making him feel the type of way, I should stop. But if she doesn't, she's actively choosing to ignore his boundaries and shit.
Yeah. And at that point, like the Twitter user said, if this girl isn't giving you what you want, you just get up and move on.
Yeah, which she did.
And I think that's what hurts her. I think that's what's going on, where it's like, she's like, he got up, moved on, had a kid with somebody else, and I kind of feel like she's kind of salty about it at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just smoke in the air. There's nothing here.
Some kind of retaliation. It's ridiculous. But I've seen a lot of people sounding off on Twitter about this. And like I said, it's just a 50-50 split. You can see in the comments here that there's a 50-50 split. Maybe as dudes, we're not seeing the other side of the argument. Maybe that's the thing.
I don't know.
But at least from what we're getting, at least the evidence that I've seen right now where she posted, I don't see nothing bad. I really honestly don't see nothing bad.
And Mia Khalifa would be under this post. She just got out of like an engagement or whatever.
That's one thing about Mia Khalifa for me too. Like, she likes to speak on these actors. She likes to speak on these people that are in that industry and stuff like that. And, you know, saying that she doesn't get paid or whatever. There was a video where she came out and she was basically saying that some dude with his girlfriend had came up to her while she was eating and wanted a picture because he recognized her for doing quarantine.
Yeah.
And because
doing her job.
And at the time she was retired.
Yeah.
And so she got upset and she yelled at him and basically told him to go away. Pissed off about it because it was like, oh, I'm eating. Why are you coming up to me, bringing up old stuff or whatever? But if that's what you're known for, he's obviously going to come up. And that, I guess, the girl, his girlfriend, was disrespectful and basically said, oh, that, what do you call it? That's not her. Or that is her, something about her being loose or whatever. Basically, the girlfriend took a jab at her, and then she was basically pissed off about the whole scenario, saying that he should have never came up, and her being a female should have been supporting Mia Khalifa or whatever. And it's like, no. You don't get to act like that. You don't get to retire from this industry and all of a sudden have a higher moral ground. People can still see your videos. You know that?
No one owes you anything. We know you can try and put it past you, but have you really? You have an OnlyFans.
Exactly. You literally got out of something talking about, oh, they take your money and they don't support you and whatever, and then you just go ahead and do the same thing.
Exactly.
It is what it is. But yeah, Sarah Brady, in my opinion, is wrong for this, and hopefully it doesn't hurt Jonah Hill in the long run. I think
he's sweating it.
The only reason why I really wanted to bring this up too, because stuff like this is what gets people in trouble. Jonathan Major's situation right now, it's still 50-50, but when he put out those text messages, they look terrible. You know what I mean? They looked really bad.
Yeah.
These ones don't look bad. These ones look fine. These ones look like he was putting those boundaries. Jonathan Majors is dealing with the fallout that he's dealing with, but who knows if his wife did lie because if she took it a different way and whatever. Like, these things seem to have a pattern. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, didn't have nobody supporting him. Nobody. And now all of a sudden, he had to go to court, prove himself, and now everybody believes him. I just think that this is a sign that this is a pattern. This is a recurring pattern. Women are coming out blasting men for whatever which reason. Actors, knowing that they have money, all these things, and just want to ruin their careers.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. That's the worst thing for me.
Yeah. Though I think as of now, as a society, we should totally look at the Johnny Depp case and like look at things a little deeper, because pointing fingers when it's innocent till proven guilty is just, it's a big no-no now.
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, and Jonah Hill could have totally responded with this and decided to have been like, look what I sent. You know what I mean? Look what she sent to me, and look how she's not respecting my boundaries or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, he could have totally played the game.
Yeah.
But he's just like, whatever. These don't look bad to me. I'm going to leave it alone. Who knows if he's going to respond later?
His PR team says otherwise.
Exactly. We'll keep you guys updated with that one. But as of right now, no response from Jonah Hill. Just a lot of commenters saying that he could potentially be a misogynist. But not in my eyes. Not in my eyes. Moving on, though. Somebody who is honestly willing to make a comeback, and it's not a bad idea, especially in the world that we're living in with multiverse shenanigans, is Danny Devito, saying that he's down to come back and take another crack at the Penguin. Talking to Games Radar, they had basically asked him if he would be open to coming back as an iconic character, and he says, I would definitely consider doing it. Yeah, Batman Returns was a great part. It was operatic. You could just pull out all the stops. There were so many motivating things, so many things churning up inside of him. Being the odd man out, the odd bird out, brought the character out of me. It was an emotional experience for me because I felt it was the opportunity of a lifetime to play Oswald Cobblepot. With Tim's vision and design, Tim is a genius to me. And today's
Didn't he die?
He did die.
He died.
He died.
Yeah.
But in a world of multiverse, does anybody really die? Can't anybody just really come back? And to be honest, this is a perfect time for all actors. Look at Keaton. He got a call 30 years later to come back and play Batman.
Shut up.
When we literally had Christian Bale.
Shut up.
But now we're hearing Deadpool 3. It's going to pull out all the stops. We're going to be getting Ben Affleck coming back. We're going to be getting Elektra Nachos coming back from the original
Nachos.
03. We're going to see Fox characters come back. Anybody who has basically been in a superhero movie back in the day can just be sitting by their phone hoping that they get that call to come back at this point. And Danny DeVito is not shying away from that opportunity. Do you think he should or shouldn't?
Well, I think, okay. Well, if it were to happen, cool. I did like his Oswald Cobblepot. But I don't know how that would work. Because, I mean, I thought he was dead. But multiverse shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
No Way Home basically pulled all the villains before they died.
Yeah.
You just see Keaton's face go. and then he goes into a different multiverse.
Yeah. Well, that's not fair. No Way Home was a trip. And they still didn't explain it right. So,
are you coming out saying that you have issues with this movie? This was like your movie.
Well, no,
you're one of those Twitter people that just tear to shreds after a few months passes.
Well, no, because after a while you could just see through the smoke and mirrors, and I mean I can admit that I still like it. It still has all my favorite. Still has my 2 favorite Spider-Man in it.
not 3, just 2.
Yeah, I don't. But no.
Dirty.
I'm joking. But
this new trilogy gonna really make you change your mind.
Man, that's what you said about every single one of them that came out, and then No Way Home did it, and I was like, all right, I'm on this path now.
You know what?
They just can't give the men the same arc again.
He's getting a 4th movie. Toby didn't get a 4th movie. Andrew Garfield didn't even get a 3rd one.
Wait, he might be getting it now.
Wait, what did you just say? He's gay?
He might be getting it now.
Oh, where did you get gay from? Oh yeah, now. Well, he's not gonna get his 3rd movie. He's gonna be in Venom 3. That's
technically.
It's not his movie. Same thing was going on with Deadpool 3.
But he gonna steal the show.
Logan's coming in Deadpool 3, but it's not his movie.
Well, Logan had 3 movies. 4 movies.
4?
No, 3 movies.
3. Mm. I mean, he was in every other Fox property that had to do with X-Men.
Hey man, he was a big name.
Hey,
you slap on Wolverine anywhere. People
I don't care what anybody says. I give it a Logan 100%, bro. Or Hugh Jackman. I mean, he's the only definitive Wolverine. We have not had a reboot or a recasting of him at all whatsoever.
It's crazy. For 50 years old, he still looks good.
That boy looks insane. He looks insane. But what about Danny DeVito?
Back to Danny DeVito.
How does Danny DeVito look now?
Well, he looks. I mean, yeah, you can tell he's aged, but I think he's aging like fine wine too.
No, he looks a little old. I can admit that, but it's good that he is coming back to. He's willing to reprise his old character, but he's also coming back for the live action Hercules.
Yeah.
To voice what's his name? Phil. Yeah. So I mean, he's still coming around acting and all that stuff. It's just more what roles can he get? And I think he's coming out in a different movie this year too. I just can't remember. I felt like I seen it in a trailer recently. But yeah, me personally, I would be down because in Batman Returns, Danny DeVito's Penguin was like the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, he stole the show for me.
Hot take, Keaton's Batman is not really my flavor, but I would say
his villains.
His
villains are pretty good.
Jack Nicholson's Joker, Danny DeVito's Penguin, even Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman was
she was
fire.
fucking sick.
But Keaton, though he did do somewhat better in the second part, it's hard to see him as Bruce Wayne.
He kind of falls flat for me, I think. But I wouldn't mind this, I guess.
Yeah.
He would have to come in at the right movie, right time, and they would have to explain that shit very well because
he's going to be teleported into the Batverse, and he's going to see Colin Farrell's Penguin, and he's going to see his Penguin, and they're just going to point at each other and be like,
they're just going to recreate the Spider-Man meme
with penguins, yeah. And then,
dumb.
Danny DeVito's going to pull out the umbrella and shoot him.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, because Colin Farrell doesn't have any of that. That would have been cool. That would have been a dope-ass callback if he walked around with an umbrella.
He doesn't have it yet. He might get one. We don't know.
Eventually.
He's technically not the Penguin.
Just yet.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's going to become the Penguin in his show.
Because everyone needs an origin story. Like fucking he can't just be the Penguin. Like, come on, dog. Danny DeVito's was just the Penguin.
He was basically dropped off in a river and raised by penguins, and he was just like, I am too a penguin.
Well, yeah. He Even his hands, you know, he literally terraformed into a penguin somehow.
Terraformed. He was born that way. That's why the parents left him. They were like, "Oh, this baby ugly. In the river you go."
Were you fucking penguins?
They had a serious talk on the car ride home. Danny so Danny DeVito,
baby is it?
Danny, that's a light-skinned baby and not rice-skinned. Danny DeVito being open to it. I mean,
why not?
At this point in 2023, if you, like I said, if you are in any comic book movie, just sit by your phone and wait for a phone call. You will be getting that call, and whether you want to do it or not, that's totally up to you. But it sounds like they're making all the stops, and everybody's getting a call to come back as a superhero. Even Brandon Routh came back as Superman. Like, who would have ever thought that was going to happen?
I wouldn't have thought.
I would have never thought. We saw Superman from Smallville as well. He came back to play a little bit. So
yeah,
nobody's off limits.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Christopher Reeves. If he was still alive, he'd probably be Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Danny DeVito, another person on the list who's willing to come back. But another movie that's in the chamber and we're hearing reports about. I don't know. I had asked you earlier, but I'm gonna ask you again. The Purge 6. We're getting small details coming out. I personally have not seen the Forever Purge. The last one I left off at was the first Purge.
Yeah.
And I think you were telling me that you didn't see the first Purge, but you watched Forever Purge.
I did.
Is there something that you're going to be expecting from this one? Are you still excited for these movies? Are you?
Well, I feel like it's been a while. I would blame COVID, though. Otherwise, I feel like we would have had one sooner. But the Forever Purge, I thought, was marketed as the last one. But I guess you can just, depending on where you put these movies, you can really just keep pumping them out. You just have to get creative. Like, we had the first Purge, and this was the Forever Purge was technically the last Purge.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like Purge time for all time.
Yeah,
now.
they're just like a world of anarchy type shit.
Yeah,
which was a fine.
It's
premise.
crazy that the government was like, "Oh, we just did it too much. Now everybody just won't stop killing."
Well, yeah, that's basically what happened. Small spoiler, like literally because it's supposed to stop at like 7 a.m. or whatever the next day.
And people just said, "Fuck it."
They were just like, "We're not stopping."
What are you gonna do? Stop us?
Yeah. I don't know. But it was a good movie. I liked it for what it was. If I were to expect a new one, good kills, because I think Forever Purge had really good kills, and then a good story, because I also really like the story to Forever Purge. So I need them to keep it like interesting.
Was there one of these that went stale for you?
The third one. That's Anarchy, right?
Yeah, that's the one with the. No, Anarchy is the second one. The third one is the one with the Liberty, the lights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that one really... I don't know what it was. That one shut me off, and that's why I skipped out on the first Purge.
I don't know. See, the one that went stale for me was the first Purge. And I watched the first three, and I really liked them because they connected really well. Yeah. A lot of characters that you saw from the first one made it to the second one, and the ones that made it from the second one, you see them in the third one, and then, like... The continuity was great because I think there was one person who started in the bottom in the second one, and then he was higher ranking in the second one. And I think the second one had Frank Grillo in that one too.
Yeah,
I really loved that one. Yeah. Anarchy was good. And then when I finally got around to the first Purge, I think that's the one that did it for me. It was kind of boring. The kills were cool, but it was just more exposition, and I think they were just trying to explain to you why it started happening. But we already knew why. They just wanted to eliminate crime, but they tried to give you more detail. And I think that's where this one kind of fell on its face. They were trying to really over-explain instead of just letting your just getting straight to it, letting your mind just fill in the gaps kind of thing. They try to spoon-feed it. And, I mean, as much as I know a lot of people need that, you don't really need that in a Purge movie where it's just mindless violence, where it's just...
You just know they're going at it.
Yeah, you know that the government said... In order for people to stay happy throughout the year, we need at least one time a year that you can just let off steam and do whatever the fuck you want. And that's all you basically need to know. But the Forever Purge, I'm going to get around to it. But Purge 6, the director, James DeMonico, basically comes out and gives us a little tidbit on what we're going to see. And he says, Purge 6 is my way of looking at the country now. I grew up watching Logan's Run and The Soylent Green and John Carpenter and George Romero, whose socio-political messages was within the films. There were smuggling ideas into the film. So for me, for 6, I was extrapolating on the Discord and taking it to the furthest as far as you can take the idea of what's going on. I filmed in a country and the political landscape, and it's a broken America. We're remapping. Purge 6 is about the remapping of America based on ideology, sexuality, and religion, so that the states are broken down. You have your black state, you have your gay state, you have your white evangelical state, and it's really a broken country. That's what Purge 6 is. It is the kind of broken America down in this. It is this kind of broken America down in this remapping, and then they picked one state that purges still, so that's where it takes place. So it's basically going to be a land divided. You're going to have white people, black people, Mexicans over here. You're going to have gays over there. You're going to have religious Christians over here, Buddhas over there.
It's going to be gang related.
Yeah, basically. And I guess there's going to be a section for purging. So people stay in their own lanes, and if you want to go into the Thunderdome and kill people, you go that way. Is kind of what I'm getting.
That's what I would imagine. Depending on if this takes place and follows after Forever Purge, the government would need a way to navigate this bitch, and who better to navigate it than the actual people?
Yeah,
because they were like, well, this clearly wasn't working. We're clearly more insane than you thought, so we're gonna govern ourselves.
we're clearly more fucked up in the head.
Well, yeah, no shit. They were like. They literally said once a year, go ahead and do what you want, you know. And the first one was showed off how the rich live, how they do it, because they can survive and they pay for all that good shit. The poor people in the second one, they don't have all that, so how do they survive? Mm-hmm. So they kind of explored that. Can't really remember the third one.
The third one was more about like people that own property and stuff.
It would be like because I remember it had that ambulance chick, right? Mm-hmm. It would be like how do people respond to that sort of thing?
It was basically, you know how like you said the first one was about the rich, the second one was about the poor. Mm-hmm. I think the third one was about the middle class, about the ones that work day to day, struggling, about to make ends meet, but one check away from letting it go altogether. You know what I mean? So I think that one was kind of what it was about.
That sounds about right. And then I didn't watch the first Purge, but the Forever Purge. They just were like, well, we're gonna do this 24/7, might as well. So I would imagine this is how the people govern. So they would just be like, well, go ahead and move here, move there if you really want to purge.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever saw the Purge show?
There was a show.
There was a show on USA.
Never seen it.
No, I never got around to it. I heard it was pretty good. I didn't
even know it existed. I gotta be real with you.
I thought it got like 2 seasons deep, and that was it. You never even knew about that one?
That sounds like it would be a lot more political than Purge.
Than killing and stuff like that?
Because like, how can... You can't really show that on TV. Like, I would imagine that would end up on Netflix if you wanted something more gory.
Yeah, it was on USA, though. So, yeah, I don't know how deep it got into it. I think it was more of the background. I think that one was supposed to be more of, like, what the first Purge was doing, just giving you a lot of exposition and letting you know why they got to the point that they were. But I never got around to the show either.
I don't care about these stats, dog.
Right. I just
want the kills.
I know. I just want to see people killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, show me that. But yeah, Purge 6 coming out. I'm assuming it has a 2025 release date. Yeah, 2025, late 2024 release date. So around there, depending on, VFX and all that. The third one was called Election Year. Very good. Can't wait for another one. You told me that the Forever Purge was good. I was hearing mixed reviews. That's why I was kind of putting it off. But
oh no, we gotta watch that one. We gotta watch it
just so I can catch up before this one comes out. Moving on though, somebody who is making the rounds in the interviews is Christopher Nolan as well, basically letting us know that he is the GOAT and did not use any CGI within Oppenheimer. So we already heard that he was going full practical. We've talked to you guys about this before, that nuclear test, that atomic bomb, was going to be remade practically. And that Universal basically said, go nuts. But now he's coming out and telling Collider that there was no CGI whatsoever.
They remade the real nuke. They dropped it in a small town. This will be good.
I'm assuming it was a little model, but I don't know. Well, I can't wait to see it. He basically told Collider and Total Film, saying, I think recreating the Trinity test without the use of computer graphics was a huge challenge to take on. Andrew Jackson, my visual effects supervisor, I got him on board early on, was looking at how we could do a lot of visual elements of the film practically, from representing quantum dynamics and quantum physics to the Trinity test itself, to recreating with my team Los Alamos up on a mesa in New Mexico in extraordinary weather, a lot of which was needed for the film in terms of the harsh conditions out there. There were huge practical challenges. I'm pretty sure letting a nuke off practically, that isn't A, going to leave everything radioactive, B, isn't going to kill millions of people, and C, going to look good on film, it had to be a challenge, 100%. It's not like he just was like, put some baking soda in a volcano and
just watch it go.
Watch it erupt. And he just put the camera up close and was like, this is good stuff.
That sounds pretty cool. I don't know how accurate that is, but that sounds sick. All right.
My foot kind of feels cramped,
and I don't know. This sounds exciting, real visionary work, but I want to know if he's bullshitting.
If there is actual CGI,
yeah. I don't know if he's bullshitting. Like if he's just saying that for press reasons.
Look, man, if Christopher Nolan comes out and says, "Ain't no CGI in this BZ," ain't no CGI. There's no way. Why would he lie about that?
I don't know.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't lie about that. He would tell you the truth and let you know that he is the GOAT.
Then that sounds even better, and I just need this movie to hit DVD already then, because I want to see the behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, on how they did it.
I hope there's a lot of like
the behind the scenes is gonna go brazy.
He's like, watch this nuke, just mushroom cloud.
Yeah, I know.
That'd in the middle of the desert, kills thousands of wildlife.
It already sounds cool.
A snake is born with two heads.
That already sounds cool.
Like I want to know how he did it.
At the end of this movie is gonna be like a plot twist, and you're just gonna see Godzilla come out of the ground.
It's not even Oppenheimer anymore. It's Oppenheimer creates Godzilla.
Oppenheimer 2, Godzilla attacks. You know, I mean, it is what it is.
That nuke you dropped on Germany also hit a dinosaur. Like
a dinosaur. But yeah, Christopher Nolan coming out saying that we're gonna be getting nothing but practical shots. If that doesn't put your butt in a seat, I don't know what will. And I'm not saying that my faith was ever shaken about him. I know that I never watched Tenet, and he wound up making Tenet. Did you watch that one?
No, I didn't get around to it. I heard it was good.
I heard it was good too. I heard it was confusing, like worse than Inception confusing.
Ain't no way.
And I'm pretty sure it probably is, because it has to do with like time travel and stuff like that. And time travel is always a confusing concept. But Christopher Nolan is a visionary, and I'm pretty sure he got that. I'm pretty sure he did his homework and did his diligence. I just think Tenet didn't do good, because obviously that movie was supposed to be the movie that got people back into cinemas. They were like, oh yeah, COVID's over, let's put Tenet into the theaters. Yeah. People are going to come in, and unfortunately COVID was not over, and nobody came in, but they wound up watching it on same day release, and that's what made him go to Universal. Now here he is letting off nukes in the backyard.
Universal was like, go ham, bro.
Let me find out that was the fire in the parking lot at
Warner Bros. He's just like, I'm gonna get them back with this bitch. Kaboom!
He Trojan horse that bitch. He fucking gave him a gift, and that shit just went
mushroom cloud everywhere.
He was like, I figured out how to do it practically. Might as well use it on these bitches.
Yeah,
very good though.
Fuck you, Hamada.
So if you guys don't know, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer will be releasing on the 21st,
August 21st. August Barbie.
July 21st.
Oh, yeah,
July 21st with Barbie. So I don't know what you're excited for. If you're going to watch Oppenheimer first, you're going to watch Barbie first, but
I would imagine you watch Oppenheimer first. That would to me, cuz I want to plan to do both the same day, which I know it probably won't happen, but I would imagine watching Oppenheimer first, just so you can get that dark and gritty feeling, and then catch a break, go eat something, come back, watch Barbie just to clean your palate. Because I imagine Oppenheimer is going to be a heavy film to watch.
Yeah, a lot of information. A lot of information for sure. We're gonna be hearing a lot of exposition. Cillian Murphy as the lead man always kills it.
Like I don't even know math that well, and I know they use that shit heavy for the nuke.
You just say I don't even know math that well. You're gonna be in the seats like you lost me.
They better explain rocket science to me because I know a lot of people.
Isn't it be like E equals MC squared, and then the whole factor of taking 3 times 4 and then add this, and then on the side is just gonna be like bomb go boom.
I'm gonna be like, I get that. All right, this is gonna be thanks for dumbing it down. It's just layman's terms for normal people.
No, Nolan just knows that the crowd's gonna need it.
The subtitles at the bottom: the bomb gonna explode because number equal 4.
Yeah, exactly. It hit 4, it go kaboom.
Exactly.
Over and done with. So, hey, we need to write a letter to Nolan. he's gonna be like, I'm gonna make this visionary movie, and then I'm gonna make this dumbass, the dumbass side of it where it just dumbs down everything for you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. I saw this tweet where we don't know. It hasn't been said who's playing what's his name? The scientist, the German scientist. What is his name? Einstein. They don't know who's playing him, right? And then people were like, we just have to assume he's the real Einstein.
At this point, if he can recreate the nuke, he can recreate Einstein, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, man.
Who is playing him?
That's why I said, like, no one, I don't think anyone knows. I don't think they've ever said who it is. And people were just like, we got to assume it's the guy. It's the real guy. He came out of death.
I was going to say they could have done like that whole CGI face thing like they did with Luke. But if he's saying no CGI in the film, then it has to just be somebody that looks like
someone
Einstein.
who looks really like Einstein.
They're just like, you look like the guy who put the key in the air. Oh, man. Moving on, though. Close to 28 years after 28 Days Later came out. So we got 2 movies, right? We got 28 Weeks Later, and then right after that we wound up getting we got 28 Days Later, and then we wound up getting 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
Now Cillian Murphy, doing his rounds for Oppenheimer as well, is saying that he's open to making 28 Years Later, which would be the sequel to the sequel. I don't know if you've seen these movies. They're the original zombie movies.
It was a long time ago. I remember seeing 28 Days Later, but not the sequel. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute? Yeah. Great movies. Really love them. Why we never got a sequel to the sequel is beyond me. It's been close. He's right. In this interview, he basically talking to Collider, saying that he's talked to Danny Boyle, saying that they wound up shooting 28 Days Later, the sequel, at the end of the 2000s. So he thinks that 28 years later is definitely approaching, and he'd love to come back and do it if the script is right and if Garl decide to put him up in the story. So you don't remember him in the sequel then?
No.
It's just been so long.
Yeah.
He looked young though. You see him?
Mm-hmm.
My boy was young. So it is close to 20, because I believe the second installment came out literally this November, December of early 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And that came after, I think the first one came out in 98. 28 Weeks Later came out in 98 or something like that. I want to say it came out 2001, and I want to say the second one came out in like 03. I literally think that was the spacing for it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on that, but I'll get. You know what? I could look it up right now. I don't know why I act like the power of the sun isn't in the palm of my hands.
That's a crazy reference.
Very good, right?
Crazy.
Okay, 28 Days Later came out in 2002.
2002?
Yeah, 2002.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that one wound up coming out in 2002. It's been already 20 years. It's coming up to 28 years. I mean, just go ahead and play around with the math and just, make it 28 years later. But 20 years later is a long time. It is a long time to come back to a sequel. But we're in 2023 where sequels, we even talked about it earlier. Danny DeVito's he could even get a call nowadays because multiverse is a thing too. Hollywood's always been into sequels. So them digging this one out, saying, hey, we can potentially have a good script, and Cillian Murphy willing to come back after Oppenheimer would make this movie propel into like stardom, and a lot of people would just go back to these movies and be like, these are cult classics. They're great. I honestly, till this day, and it's funny to me because the first time I seen this movie, the very first part, I was like 10 or 11. It was the middle of the night. It was playing on Sci-Fi, and I was watching the first one where they're like in a cabin and everything just starts happening, and I'm like, this movie's bonkers. And I watched the second part, and that was actually even crazier. So if you haven't seen these movies in a while and you don't remember them, what do you do with yourself all day?
I just don't watch.
You just live under a rock.
Just don't watch zombie movies.
You're like Patrick Star.
I don't watch zombie movies. That's just my thing.
You don't like zombie movies?
Not really.
What? I love zombie movies.
I don't know. I've said it before, but zombies are just like very uninteresting to me.
You never watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Oh, I thought you look like somebody who would watch The Walking Dead.
Fuck no. I heard it's good, but I can't. I think I understand the premise. A lot of it is like, oh, zombies are here. We gotta move. Oh no, the zombies are coming to us again. We gotta move. And I feel like they do that for pretty much the whole damn show.
Did you like Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You remember that one?
Vaguely,
but you don't watch it either because of zombies.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love zombie kills. I love the whole biting, and then nowadays they like rip the skin and like pull it and all that stuff.
The recent zombie thing was The Last of Us.
That's not even zombies. Those are clickers.
They start off as zombies, and then they develop into clickers.
They do develop into clickers, but they're technically not zombies. Technically speaking, they've already made it a point because zombies are dead and they come back alive. Where like in The Last of Us, they're not dead. Their just brain is taken over by the fungus.
Yeah. Technically zombies.
They're not zombies. They're not zombies. They made it a point to make it clear. The creator himself made it a point to make it clear they're not zombies.
They're technically zombies.
Zombies die and come back alive.
They are undead.
No,
the person inside is no longer conscious.
No, because if you shoot a clicker or shoot one of those zombies in The Last of Us, if you shoot them in the body or in the head, they still die. It's not like they come back alive. They're using the host's body to stay alive. So they're not zombies. I don't know, man. They're not zombies. Yeah, they are. Yeah, no.
They're kind of like zombies.
What do you guys think out there? Let me know. Is the zombies from The Last of Us zombies? Or they're not even zombies. Are the clickers from The Last of Us zombies? Are they not zombies? Let me know. Let us know because Josh is very adamant on his stance.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's zombies.
Zombies die and then come back alive. You can't go to bed dead and wake up alive.
So, that shit would be redundant, right?
You're not allowed to do that. And in The Last of Us, they make it a point, and that's why I'm saying, like, don't mess up my boy's vision because he makes it a point to say that it's the fungus.
I think the one movie that really shut me off to zombies, even though I think the sequences were kind of cool, but I think World War Z. I think that one did it for me.
I didn't really like that one. I didn't like it either. I thought those, to me, I've never liked the whole running zombies and they could just do a bunch of crazy, because even that game, what is that one game, Days Gone, where like it's just hordes coming at you and stuff like that. To me, that's unrealistic that they just trample each other. I think like I Am Legend was playing with that a little bit as well, but they made it a point to say like they are not zombies as well. They just got infected, kind of like The Last of Us. So I could kind of, turn away from that. But like zombies that run and everything is one thing, but if they're actually like climbing each other, able to coordinate and build this bridge to get to the top of the wall and stuff like that, I never liked that either. So World War Z was not a movie that I particularly liked from the zombie genre. But the movie that actually put me onto zombies was Resident Evil. Those are the definitive like zombie movies for me. I used to love those movies. I still do.
You didn't watch the show? The recent show that came out? Is it a show?
Or the one on Netflix?
Recent movie, whatever the fuck it was. It's supposed to be more game accurate or whatever.
The one that was on Netflix?
Yeah.
No. And then I seen that they came out with the new one, Raccoon City. I never watched that one either, but that was during COVID as well. And it was an actual movie. I was waiting for it to come out on Netflix. I haven't even seen it on Netflix.
That's crazy.
It did really bad, though. It was supposed to be the reboot, but they're making another reboot that is supposed to be like that accuracy, whatever.
Game accurate.
Yeah, game accuracy.
The dude, the blonde dude from the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they did make a TV show, but or they're coming out with a TV show.
Something like that.
On Netflix.
I know Netflix is doing it. They're trying to get very accurate to the games.
Yeah, because I haven't seen that new one that just recently came out. That one came out like 2020 or 2021, and I just heard bad things about it.
And then, well, I like the Zack Snyder one, the one that came out, Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Oh yeah.
I like that one.
Well, Zack Snyder made Dawn of the Dead too, so.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah, he's the one where they're in the mall. He wound up making that one. James Gunn was actually a writer and a producer on that one too, so. Little fun fact if you didn't know that.
Interesting.
And then, Army of the Dead. I thought that one was pretty good for zombies, and even then, he didn't even make them like run over each other and do all that stuff. They would run and sprint after you, but it wouldn't be like, oh, we're gonna coordinate to like make a big wall and do all that stuff. Zombie Tiger was different for me too. I was kind of like Zombie Tiger was completely different.
I like the idea that they all had like a king though. Or someone to like look up to.
I didn't like that either.
Like societal.
I like the movie, and I think I overlooked that because of the fact that it was Zack Snyder's movie and stuff like that. But I didn't like that part. Because zombies to me, they're supposed to be mindless and dumb, and that the fact that they were able to coordinate an attack and keep Las Vegas under control and have like a queen and all that stuff. I understand the queen part, maybe like a queen bee hive mentality, but not be like, oh yeah, I can fuck this bitch and make zombie babies. That shit was too much.
Zombie babies.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about that one too, though, is like, there's something else going on than just zombies.
Yeah, there was. There's theories going around: zombies, aliens, robots. At one point,
time travel. The fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that Zack Snyder has a lot of explaining to do that we haven't even got explaining at all. And I've been kind of furious about that.
And then, Zombieland. I like the two movies, but that's the kind of silliness I expect from a zombie movie.
Oh, you like the parody work when it came to that movie, which it's understandable, but
like as a medium, I don't take zombies seriously. So if every movie could take them that unseriously, they would make it 10 times better.
Damn, man, you really don't like zombies, huh? Which is crazy. They're so good.
Nah.
They're so good.
As a horror thing, they're the bottom of my list. I told you it's not. I can't really like The Last of Us does it close.
Are you not like a big gore and like blood kind of guy? Like you don't like to see that in movies?
Dog, we watched the 2014 Rise of the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. I showed you that one.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I love it.
I couldn't vibe with that one.
I fucking love it, dude.
Like as much as I like the demons and all that, like what they were doing was fucking with me. I was like, no, I can't do this.
The cutting her face part.
I couldn't do it.
What about the car crushing her arm and her
couldn't do it?
No, you close your eyes.
I was like, and then she pulled it out. Yeah, no, couldn't do it. Like it looked visually cool, and I applaud everyone who did it. Like I'm sure that's crazy fucking makeup and CGI.
Yeah,
but no,
it was just too much.
Can't do it. Like what is it?
You were just looking at me watching it. You're like fucking psychopath.
Like that's one of my things about watching Saw. Like I know you like as a series, I like it. And I can watch them with you, but after a while, I'm like, this is making me kind of sick.
It's kind of a lot of blood and all that. I see that.
Like when dude and that chick, he's like, the game is put more meat in the bowl and you survive or whatever, and then you got the chick cutting her arm off while dude is cutting his fat.
Oh, just so you can put more.
Yep, can't do it.
Yeah, that shit was crazy when she was just like, and she just kept going. That one was insane.
The one where he's tied up with the girl, it's either kill one of the boys or kill the girl, and then they kill the girl. Can't do that one.
Oh yeah, where it's like
they're in the glass,
pushing the Zaw.
They're in the glass.
That same movie, the one where Chester wound up coming out in, where he's like ripping his back off the car seat.
Mm-hmm.
That one was the one that made me cringe a lot too. Even though I feel like that was the movie where like the quality and blood kind of went down, only because they try to bring up the quality in like the 3D or whatever. But still, that shit just made me be like, oh god.
What's the one
that would hurt?
What's the one where dude is tied up, and it's just the axe or the pendulum
going back and forth,
swinging, and then it cuts him? Can't do that.
That one was crazy. The girl jumping in the needle pit.
Can't do that either.
That one was crazy. The girl who put her hands in the glass case and it had like the glass, if she pulled down, it would cut her kind of thing. That one was bad too. Yeah, these movies are great. I fucking
Final
love them.
Destination.
But that's me though. I love horror movies like that. I love blood and guts. That's what I think I love about zombie movies when they like. What was the one where I think it was Evil Dead, where like the Army of the Dead or whatever, where he was like one of the zombies like basically scratched her whole skin off, like basically just, and it was like gone. I was like, fuck. What's that one movie? You ever seen not Resident Evil? What is it called? It's like right here. It's the one where Silent Hill. You seen Silent Hill? You remember the one where like the triangle dude's head and he picks up the girl and just fucking rips her fucking skin off, like her whole skin off her body?
Yep.
Insane.
Can't do it.
Insane. Till this day, that shit.
I know.
Oh
there's
my
more.
god.
From a viewing standpoint and like a film enthusiast, I'm like, that's cool. Again, like,
but you
props
just
to
can't
them.
sit.
Me, but like as like a person, nope. I'm like, this is fucking insane.
Damn.
The people coming up with this shit they're fucking crazy.
Yeah. I fucking love that shit. Horror movies are great. Did any of like Scream 6 kills startle you or made you a little unsettled?
No.
They felt those were a bit tamed.
Yeah, they felt necessary. I don't know. Maybe it's because this is why my thing, like, they feel more tangible than zombies. So I feel like a stab wound can be that fatal, but it can also be very unfatal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one that got me was, well, when what's her name falls from the ladder,
she hits the ground. Oh,
she hits the trash and then the ground, right? Yeah. So it's just doof, and then
she kind of explodes a little bit, like her body pops.
Yeah. Seeing dude's head in the fridge was crazy.
Yeah, that one was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's good to know that it's the blood and gore and not. It's not the zombies, okay? So don't fucking come at the zombies, but it's the blood and gore that I feel like you have an issue with.
Well, no. I
don't think it's the zombies.
Zombies as a concept is just, I think, kind of boring.
Elaborate.
Well, I don't know. I don't find them interesting unless it's very in depth, like The Last of Us had. I know you just said those don't count.
They're not zombies.
Well, no, listen. Well, no, like that's what I'm saying. I know you just said they don't count, but I can believe that because fungus is real. But a virus that can't really be explained, but can also be up in the air, and whatever else. Yeah, I think
the movie that really, and this is why I kind of like it, is Resident Evil. Is they kind of explained how they come back to life. Mm-hmm. That these people took an injection that is supposed to make their bodies like healthier and whatever. Basically takes a turn and kills you, and then you come back as a zombie kind of thing. And I really liked how they explained it. Not a lot of movies take the time and detail to explain it.
They're just like, oh, it's an unknown virus. And I'm like, well, that's not believable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what happened with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, homie just wakes up and he's like, oh, the zombies are here. And
But they explain it in the Walking Dead prequel show, don't they?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but that's what I heard.
Maybe.
But yeah.
I don't know.
I would be down for 28 years later. If you haven't seen them in a while, I'd suggest you watch them because if this is actually something that is in the works, you'd want to be caught up because we're gonna go watch this.
Eventually, yeah, I'll be caught up.
Very good. And seeing Cecilia Murphy come back too, you know, after so many years of having like acting gigs, and he can actually do a better performance now than what he probably could have done back in the day.
Now
it would be
honed his skills.
Yeah, it was great. Moving on though, we also got Emilia Clarke. Now we talked about this on a previous episode, but we also got now Emilia Clarke coming out vouching, saying that green screen actors is still acting. And I had told you before that we heard that somebody else had talked about this, that they didn't consider green screen acting to be real acting, and the person who wound up saying that was Anthony Hopkins, who played Thor's father in the Marvel movies, in the first Thor, second Thor, and I think he passes away in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Saying at the time, Anthony Hopkins came out saying that on Thor, you have Chris Hemsworth, who looks like Thor, and a director like Kenneth Branagh, who is so certain of what he wants. They put me in armor. They shoved a beard on me. sit on a throne, shout a bit. If you're sitting in front of a green screen, it's pointless acting. So basically that he was in a throne room, it was all green screen, and they just made him shout stuff, say things, put Chris Hemsworth right in front of him, and that was basically it.
Yeah.
Maybe a few guards on the side and said, hey, this is your throne room, go ahead and act. I know that Angela Bassett even came out after he made those comments basically saying that she didn't have those issues, I guess, while she was doing Wakanda or Black Panther and Black Panther 2, saying that at least in the throne room scenes, you had the Dora Milaje, you had some columns, maybe like the rest was green screen, but it was like at least trying to portray the room where, you know, he, at the time, obviously they probably didn't have the money to, you know, get practical sets like that. So they did a little bit more green screen with this. So Emilia Clarke basically did an interview with Los Angeles Times and was asked how, you know, how she does all these projects and interact with her cast members with, you know, it mostly being green screen with most of her productions. I mean, she's coming off of Game of Thrones, which that one was mostly off all green screen. You're not going to have medieval times without some green screen. And then now into Marvel projects where, lo and behold, we've been knowing that they use an over excessive amount of green screen. I mean, we even got that behind the scenes look at Nick Fury, who was literally sitting in a chair and had a fake gun in a green room when they could have just easily remade the set, gave him a real gun, and they just overused that CGI. So her take is that the stigma that people don't do any acting in these shows, and then you're like, well, then why are you asking all these great actors to do it? And why are they saying yes? If it wasn't real acting, the top actors such as Samuel L. Jackson, Olivia Colman wouldn't take on roles in projects that use green screen. The cast is ridiculous. I was like, where do I sign? As soon as I heard of Secret Invasion. So she's making the argument that you wouldn't get top grade actors or actresses in these Marvel movies or shows if green screen acting wasn't real acting. And I know we touched upon it on a couple episodes ago. You guys can go check that out. But I say green screen acting takes a lot more chops, in my opinion, than doing things practical. Because when you're green screen acting, if they tell you pretend the giraffe is there and look at this tennis ball, and you're gonna have this emotional scene with this giraffe, you got to pretend like it's getting hurt and you can't do anything about it. Go. And they have to pretend like all that shit's happening, and then later on they CGI boom 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 whatever, and then
there's a giraffe there.
There's a giraffe there. Whereas if you have an actor and they get a real giraffe and they tell the giraffe to lay there, and you have that reference point and you can see into the giraffe's eyes, find a little bit more. I find it a little bit easier to get into the zone of acting when you have things practical, because you can look at them, have a little bit more sense that they're real, and, you know, put your performance out that way. Whereas green screen acting, you just gotta fake it till you make it. You gotta pretend like these are actual emotions, but you're just looking at a fucking tennis ball in a green room, you know?
Well, yeah, I would imagine it does take more chops. There's no doubt about it. A lot of it looks silly. And we know the bloopers. We've seen the bloopers where, like, oh, it looks funny and whatnot. And I'm sure the actors do laugh sometimes, but I would imagine, it does take a lot of chops, because you'd basically be having a conversation with yourself. You're doing a scene by yourself, or with a double, depending on what the CGI thing is. But I would imagine it's harder.
Yeah, and I would just say her argument kind of falls to its face when she just says that you wouldn't get real, like, grade A actors and stuff like that for these projects.
That's it.
Yeah, it pays good. You're going to get somebody who's going to attach themselves to this and be like...
Iron Man RDJ was contracted for hella years, and it was each time he made a cameo, he got like $100 million. So.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a bag nonetheless, and if let's be honest. If you're a real actor who can act in front of props and real things or whatever, and it's supposedly easier to be in front of a green screen, you could make the argument and be like, well, they're just taking an easy gig. You know what I mean? They're just showing up to a green room, sitting down, doing whatever, saying their lines, acting the best to their ability, and then moving on to the next project, a real project where, you know, they are actually practical and they have a room and stuff like that, and they can give a real acting. You know what I mean? So I would just say that argument kind of falls flat, because if it is easier to them, they're just going to do it to get the quick check and then move on with their lives. But in the case of Samuel L. Jackson, he's been here since the very beginning, so I'm pretty sure he's doing this because of the passion of being Nick Fury and not necessarily for the money. So that's a positive.
Oh, yeah. No real disagreement here. It's more of just they're gonna take the bag if they will, if they can.
100%. I don't think who wouldn't, especially if it's an easy gig.
Exactly.
So Emilia Clarke, though I sympathize for her, and I get where she's coming from. Her argument's not really that great, because it could be easily, you know, countered. Just counter. Oh
my God.
Moving on, somebody who is letting the bag speak is Johnny Depp. We're hearing from an insider, a source close to Johnny Depp, that he's open to coming back to Disney and possibly a Pirate 6. Saying the source is saying to People magazine that Depp has now stated that he would consider starring in a Disney project again, including a potential Pirates of the Caribbean sequel, despite saying previously that he would never return. Anything is possible if it's the right project, he'll do it, says the source. So I'm assuming Disney slapped on the wagon, backed it up to his mansion, and was like, here's $3,001 and 3,001 alpacas. Here you go. Come back to Disney. Come back to making Pirates what it's supposed to be.
Alpacas?
And that's what he said in the courtroom. He was like, it would take about $3 million and 3 million alpacas for him to come back. So if that's... I think he said 300 million of each. So if that's what it takes, and they're going to bring 301 of each, how can he not say yes? Iger comes up, like, hey, man, we got all these alpacas. Where you want us to put them?
Yeah, I don't know. This is still the same as like last time. Like, if he says yes, then we know it's really for a bag. Get your bag, but at the same time, you're not being a man of your word. You said you wouldn't come back, and as much as I'd love to see Captain Jack Sparrow back, it wouldn't be okay.
But then this falls back to, you know, Disney's gonna write you that check. In my opinion too, I kind of feel like it's a little like, you know, tucking your tail in and going back. But a lot of times as well, when you get blacklisted like this, and I'm not sure if, you know, if these little, we know that he's doing a little indie movie, so we don't know if that's going to help him come back to this, to Hollywood.
Yeah.
But kind of like what RDJ did, I know that he was saying in an interview too, where like, you remember the Shaggy Dog?
Yeah.
Well, that was his first role back from going through the whole drug abuse and alcohol abuse that he was going through. And he says in the interview himself, like, the only reason why he did that one was mostly because he wanted to show studios that he can do the job sober. Like, he can actually come back. So kind of like somebody trusting him, and a big studio like Disney trusting you to come back, that, you know, that you're not going to fuck up and do these things again, and we're going to have to push you away, is like golden in Hollywood. So if Disney says, maybe, you know, Warner Brothers having to kick him out because of, you know, the whole Harry Potter thing, and whatever was going on in 2016 when the whole Amber Heard stuff was first happening, like, all these studios are like, well, we can't touch you just yet. You need to show us that you can be on your best behavior. And if Disney's open to opening those doors and being like, hey, we fucked you over, we apologize, let us make things right, let's get Pirate 6, I wouldn't hold them 110% against them. I wouldn't be able to hold it against them all the way, but I will be able to look at him and be like, you kind of folded just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I don't know. I think it could work. He could totally come back again. That would be so great. But if it's for a bag, I guess it's okay, because we know you're just there for your check. Liking what you do and doing it for a check are two different things.
That's true. And let's be honest, he loved the Pirates. He even said on the stand, he's even said when they first fired him, that he loved the character. A lot of the lines that were in the script, he would just do away with them and make his own lines on the spot, because he felt like he put a lot of work into this character. He really cares about this character. This is honestly, he is the definitive Captain Jack Sparrow. Yep. You can, like, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. He is Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. He is Captain Jack Sparrow, and I can't just be like, oh, I can see somebody else doing it, because even when I heard that Margot Robbie reboot, I was like, damn, that's fucking dirty. And if y'all gonna put Margot Robbie in the front seat, y'all better hope that movie is so good, because that, in my opinion, that would have been a different clusterfuck on Disney's side. But I would be okay with this, but I wouldn't be able to help but look at him and be like, you folded just a little bit, my man. Yeah, just a tad bit. Yeah,
no real arguments anymore, I guess. This feels.
You would just be happy if he comes back, though. Would you be at least okay with it? You're still gonna look at him some kind of way.
Yeah, I'd be like, damn, Depp, thanks for making it work out, but you folded, man.
What if the 6-part carries on where the last one, and we see Orlando Bloom come back, we see Elizabeth Swann come back?
That would do it.
That would probably make it. I would put my butt in the seat, and then I'd just look at it and just be like, alpacas what? 3 million what? No, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna worry about none of that. I'll be down.
Yeah,
I'll be down 100%.
At that point, I'd be like, okay,
make it happen.
You got everybody back. We're vibing now.
Yeah, make it happen, Disney. Make it happen, Depp. Come on now. Moving on, though, to our last couple topics. We got 2 new trailers. We got the Ahsoka trailer, and we got the new Wonka trailer.
Yeah.
We're going to first go through the Ahsoka trailer. We've already gotten, you know me, I'm a Star Wars fan. Star Wars fanatic. I fucking live this shit. I live, eat, breathe shit out Star Wars. I'm hearing Ahsoka is high praises. That apparently a lot of people are saying this is Dave Filoni at his best. We heard that Rosario Dawson said that this is basically Rebel Season 5. I'm hoping we don't get those boring Rebel episodes, but I mean, hearing that this is going to pick up, bring back Ezra Bridger, we're going to see Thrawn. Sabrine Wren is going to come back. We're going to see a live-action Hera Syndulla.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm expecting a lot from this trailer, because the first one, it did keep me invested. It wasn't like, oh, this is a bad trailer. It's just more like, you got to keep me hooked, Disney. Yeah, you got to keep me hooked, Lucasfilm. What are your thoughts, and what do you expect to see from this trailer?
Well, I like the teaser. I definitely like the teaser trailer. I hope it's good. That's it. I just hope it brings me in like the teaser trailer did.
Yeah,
because also a huge Star Wars fan.
Very big, very big. You ready to get into it? All right, let's go.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
All right.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
Wow.
You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my
His
past.
fucking name.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
New episode premiere August 23rd, bro. No fucking way, dog. This fucking show.
I told you.
Literal chills
I
right now.
fucking told you. Where?
Literal chills.
You have no hair on your arm, dog.
Shut up, man. Literal chills.
Where?
Literal chills, bro.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I told you, though. I told you. You were talking all that shit when the teaser dropped. Eat your fucking words. I told you. I fucking told you.
That shit looked good. R.I.P. Stephen Knight, but that shit
He's going to give one good performance here. He's going to be good.
They name dropped Anakin multiple times. And we already know Hayden Christensen's going to be showing up.
Yep.
Does Anakin and this new, Stephen Knight's character, they have a fucking history?
Somewhere.
Are we going to see, like, flashbacks of the Clone Wars and shit like that? Bro, man, this shit's going to be so crazy seeing him as Thrawn.
Oh, dude, that looks fucking cool.
Mind blown. That's
going to be sick.
That's the end of this episode. This is the only spot that we can stop it at.
No, we got one more trailer, man. One trailer that
we should have saved this for the last.
Kind of underwhelming. I thought you were. I didn't think you were going to start off with Star Wars.
I'm obviously going to always start off with Star Wars first.
Well, damn, I
feel like I had my dessert.
Okay. Then I'll ask you. We can stop it here, but we're gonna have to watch the Wonka trailer for the next one.
No, we'll watch the Wonka. We'll watch it. We'll give that reaction. But man,
we know this shit is gonna be underwhelming.
Wonka, I don't know. Timothy Chalamet. This is supposed to be.
Well, you don't even like musicals.
Is it a musical?
I thought so.
I didn't think it was a musical.
It has the Oompa Loompas and stuff.
Oh well, I mean, I think with Willy Wonka, I came to like train myself to like it because ever since the very first one, it's always been that way. So I don't expect the Chocolate Factory or Wonka without Oompa Loompa song. And if it's only in the time where Oompa Loompa is singing, I'm fine with that.
Oh, okay.
I know. Gene Wilder in the original, he sang a little bit, but Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, he never really sang. It was just the Oompa Loompa. So
that's scary, motherfucker.
But if you guys haven't seen the Ahsoka trailer, go check that shit out. Have the conversation with us. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are about it.
That trailer was sick.
And we're gonna just dive into this Wonka trailer. I feel like we had our dessert already, though.
I've spent the past 7 years traveling the world perfecting my craft. You see, I'm something of a magician, inventor, and chocolate maker. So quiet up and listen down. Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
Mr. Wonka, I can see you're a man of great ingenuity.
What are you doing?
I'm making chocolate, of course. How do you like it? Dark, white, nutty, absolutely insane.
Many people have come here to sell chocolate. They've all been crushed by the chocolate cartel. You can't get a shop without selling chocolate. And you can't sell chocolate without a shop.
No daydreaming.
What are we gonna do, Willie?
What the fuck?
Huh?
A double huh?
Do you have a pencil and paper?
Uh-huh.
I got an idea. I know things haven't been easy for you. They're gonna get better.
You promise?
I pinky promise. That's the most solemn vow there is.
Where do we start?
A good chocolate chip is simple.
Where's this? It's just
Weird.
What's happening? Ooh, what's a chocolate that makes you fly?
Let's find out, shall we?
Who's for a Humberchuck? Nothing to see here. Just a small group of people defying the laws of gravity.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Gallery Gourmet, my name is Willy Wonka.
He's good. Too good.
Pretty sure I've gained about 150 pounds in the last 2 weeks.
You could change her life, Mr. Wonka. Change all their lives.
Run away!
Every good thing in this world started with a dream. So you hold on to yours.
Here we go, Mama.
Mark my words, this is gonna be the greatest chocolate shop the world has ever seen.
So you're the funny little man who's been following me.
I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa what now?
Allow me to refresh your memory.
Oh, I don't think I want to hear that.
Too late. I've started dancing now. Once we've started, we can't stop.
Okay, no, that one looks good too. I don't even care. That actually, and I haven't seen like Timothy Chalamet or anything. I know he's in the Dune movies. I haven't even watched those.
The second one comes out this year, man.
I know.
We didn't. Fuck.
Have you seen it?
I saw the first one.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Like 1 to 10.
You like an 8.
8. I don't know, man. It didn't really appeal to me. I gotta watch it. I should watch it, but maybe later. To be honest, if he wows me in this movie, I will probably go check those out. But I haven't really seen him in much. I think the last thing I seen him in was his little role in Don't Look Up, which obviously that's not gonna do him any justice. But seeing his acting in this one makes me want to go see Dune, but I really want to see this movie first. This one actually looks very good, and I know that they were saying, a lot of people were speculating, is it following Johnny Depp's or Gene Wilder's, and it, judging from the Oompa Loompa and the way that he was acting, he's literally bringing Gene Wilder back to life.
Yeah, that's what that looked like.
What a great day for trailers, because that, we just had an epic Ahsoka trailer, and then right after that we watched it with something that looked very emotional, and this trailer looks like it's going to be like to Wonka's core. And if you've seen Gene Wilder's, and if you've seen even Johnny Depp's, his parents play a big role in why he became this, this person became this chocolate guy. And so them diving deep, and it looks like they're going to dive way deep into it. I'm with it 100%.
Yeah, it looks good. At first, I didn't know how to feel about this movie, though, because to me, I don't think everyone needs an origin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the trailer looks good. It gives me well, I know you didn't see it, but the one that's about the OG, the nanny movie. What is it called? The one with Tom Hanks, and he plays Walt Disney.
Oh, Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, Saving Mr. Banks. It gives me those vibes. And I know you haven't seen it, but it gives me those vibes.
Yeah.
So it does look really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I still need to watch that one. I still need to watch.
You should get around
that Neighborhood movie with Tom Hanks too. Tom Hanks is a great actor.
I'm gonna watch the one Man Named Otto.
Where's that at?
Netflix.
Oh, I gotta watch that one.
I'm gonna watch it right now or in a bit.
Oh, very nice.
But trailer looks good.
Yeah,
it's pretty solid. I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
Yeah, no, it was actually very good. Go check it out though. Wonka trailer. It's on YouTube as well. Looks very good. Looks like they're really paying homage to Gene Wilder's Wonka, and it just looks magnificent. It actually looks like a very compelling story. With that being said, though, that's going to be our last topic of this episode. If there's anything that we didn't talk about, something that we should have, but we didn't, a topic that you guys want us to discuss, a movie you guys want us to review, you guys want to support us in a big way, Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post our new episodes are up. You can hit us up there for any news or movies you want us to cover. Thanks for kind of interrupting me.
Shut up.
Listen to us on the go, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, and now we're on YouTube. So, go ahead and do all that at FilmBros Podcast. If you want us to support us in a big way, subscribe to our Buzzsprout. Links are in our bios and the social medias I just listed. You get special perks, name shout outs on our episodes. So why not support us in a big way? And then, like I said, we're already on YouTube, caught up. Subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
With that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.